Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. Happy Friday. Hope you guys have amazing plans for the weekend. So finally this video is here. I am such a procrastinator and you are watching this video the day that I'm filming it. So today is Friday, May 24th. I actually took the day off yesterday. Thursdays are usually the days that I film, but yesterday was my husband, my fiance's, my baby daddy's, my sugar daddy, whatever you want to refer to him as. It was his birthday yesterday, so I just spent the day, spoiling him, making him breakfast, making him a cake. We went out to dinner, and we just spent the day together. So I just didn't film. So here we are today. I figured that this would be the easiest and fastest video that I could film and edit and have it ready for you guys. So we are doing a little nose contouring, and don't mind my nails. They're all kind of crazy. You guys know that I wear press-on nails, and I'm just waiting for the rest of them to fall so I can put on a new set. So random. I don't even know what I was going to say. Yeah. So there's not much to this intro besides I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys learn something new. And as always, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, whatever it is, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to learn how I snatch my nose, if you guys want to snatch your nose, then go ahead and keep on watching. All right, we are all up and personal. So first things first, if you guys are wondering where these lashes are from, these are the Teddy Style Lash from the brand Kiss. These are the 3D whatever lashes. I am obsessed with them. I love how they look with like a bare lid, like no eyeliner, nothing. I did throw in a little bit of bronzer into the lid, but aren't they so beautiful? Anyway, so I'm going to show you guys really quick the tools that you are going to need. Now keep this in mind. You do not need these exact same tools, but these two brushes that I use, you can definitely buy them if you wish. So the first thing you're going to need is some sort of bronzer. Now the bronzer that I use and I've been using for the past like 2 years since I've learned how to contour my nose is the Bahama Mama bronzer, which is this one right here. Now the reason why I like this one is because it is slightly cool. It does have some cool undertones, and that's kind of what you want to go for. I kind of like to match my nose contour with the rest of my face, which usually is pretty bronzy. Like I said, even though this is a cool tone, it doesn't look gray on the nose, which is a big no-no. So use whatever bronzer you have. Excuse me. I wouldn't suggest for you to use like an orange bronzer because then your nose is going to look off, but something right in between cool and warm. So maybe like a neutral bronzer, and if you have this one, cool. Now after that, I bought this brush set about a year ago. This is the Morphe M0 and this is the Morphe M6. Now this one came in a trio. The other brush, I don't use it, so I don't know where it is. You're also going to need a highlight of your choice. Today I'm going to use the Lunch Money Super Shock Cheek by ColourPop. I kind of switched them up, but it's the one that I'm wearing on my cheekbones right now. And then you're also going to need some sort of like powder, a brightening powder that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than your skin tone. This is the one that I like to use. It is the KKW number 3 brightening powder. This is also really good for brightening underneath the eyes and just making your eyes look a little bit more snatched. Okay, so next is learning really about your nose, as weird as it sounds. You want to almost like study your nose, see what you don't like, what you do like. Now I wasn't lucky enough to get my mom's nose. My mom has the cutest, like small, little, really thin, cute and perky nose, and I got my dad's nose. My dad's nose is really wide. Like you can see, my nose goes pretty narrow from here, and then it just goes wide and wide and wide and wide. I also have, I call it the Mexican little bump because I feel like a lot of Latinos have it, but I have a little bump right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I hate my bump. There's not much that I can do to really hide the bump, but I found tricks and little like ways of making it seem a little bit slimmer. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the M6, and again, this is the one that came in the Brittany Bear kit, and it's a nose contouring little brush set that is specifically for that. So I will have a link down below. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to just go in there. You don't need a lot. What I like to do is I like to start from the top. So again, my nose is pretty narrow from the top right there. So as you can see, my nose is pretty narrow from here. So what I like to do is, again, I'm going to take my brush and I am going to follow the same lines where my nose naturally like has that dividend. Is that what it's called? So that's where my nose is. That's my nose. That's naturally where I have the bones of my nose, whatever you call it, the bridge of the nose. So I'm just going to draw 2 lines. Now these lines are going to guide you as far as how wide or how thin you want your nose to look. So for example, I've heard and I've seen many videos of people saying the thinner the line, the thinner the nose is going to look. And I would say that's not exactly true, because if you bring the lines in too close, then you're leaving out space on the outside of your nose, and it's going to make your nose look wider. So what you want to do again is with that same brush, and I am going to make my lines a little bit harsher so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that line, and I promise you, if you have this brush, it makes a huge difference. It just makes the nose contouring a lot easier. So instead of going just straight down, like just drawing a straight line across, just imagine 2 straight lines. Instead of doing that, you actually want to almost like curve it. So again, you just want to go like this and right there. And see how I'm using my brush and kind of like curving it? You don't exactly want to do a straight line. So there we have line 1. And then again, now on this side, this is where I have a bump on my nose. I don't know if I naturally had this bump, but when I was in like 7th grade, I got into a fist fight with this girl. And I remember that she punched my nose and she had so many rings on her hand, and it gave me a little scab. And you guys can probably see it when I'm not wearing makeup. It's this one right here. It's a black little scab, and that's where I happen to have the bump. So I don't know if something happened to my nose, or again, if I've always had it, but just a little fun fact. So what I like to do, because again, I do have that little bump, I kind of go over it. So I do bring my nose contour a little bit in closer on this side to hide the fact that I have a bump. If you don't have a bump, skip this step. But again, you just want to do the same thing. So you want to curve it. Whoop. Do you guys see that? This is actually more of a personal preference. I personally like my nose to look a little bit shorter. I don't have too long of a nose, but I do like to cut it off a little bit and make it look a little bit more buttony. So again, we're going to take our little brush, and what I like to do is draw a line across my nose. Now, do you guys see where your nose naturally folds? Right here. That's where you want to draw the line. You don't want to draw it up too high or down too low, because then again, it's going to look like obvious that you're doing that. So you just want to follow the curvature of your nose, and that is where you want to draw the line. And again, you don't want to draw it straight across. You almost want to like hug your nose. So do it like an upside down U. And then if you do have a long nose and you do want to make it look shorter, all you have to do is apply a little bit of your bronzer. So I'm really just like shading underneath my nose right here. And this is, like I said, going to also make it look a little bit more perky, a little bit more buttony. And then what I like to do is I like to drag. So do you guys see where we stopped? I didn't drag my color all the way down. I literally stopped it there. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to almost connect those lines by making this like this. Okay, and that's where you're going to get that button nose appearance. And then this is the time where I'll kind of look at my nose and see, okay, it's looking pretty good. Obviously it looks still pretty harsh, but we haven't blended anything out. So after that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little brush. Again, whatever brush you have, anything that's similar to this will work just fine. You can also take this one if you like, but I'm going to show you why I use this in a different way. So now what you want to do is start blending in your nose contour. One thing that I do have to say is that with a nose contour, you don't want to blend too much. This is the only time I'm going to tell you guys, don't blend too much. You don't want to over blend, because then the lines are going to disappear and it's you know, it's not going to look like you did anything to your nose. So you really do want to blend it so there are no harsh lines, but you don't want to over blend. And what I'm doing is literally just going up and down the nose. If you feel like you made a mistake and you brought your nose contouring too far out, that's okay. Don't worry about it, because we're going to fix that in 1 second. So all I'm doing is blending and making sure that I don't have too much of a harsh line. And then also here and on the sides. Okay, so you guys see a huge difference already, right? This is all like a smoke and mirrors, It's all an illusion. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my KKW Beauty number 3 powder, and I'm going to take that Morphe brush. And I like to take it on the side of the brush, not on like the tip or anything, just on the side of the nose or of the brush. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on the side of the nose. Now you want to apply this to the areas like this and down. You don't want to go over the contour where you applied the color, the bronzer. You don't want to cover that up, but you want to go really close to it. Like if you see the line, a little bit below the line. What this is going to do, because this is a brightening powder, it's going to emphasize the lines of the contour, and it's going to make your nose look snatched. So really quickly, I am going to, where is my brush? I'm going to go back onto this brush, and I'm just going to clean it off. I'm going to clean it off a little bit. And what I like to do is I just like to pinch it so it's nice and thin. And then I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose. And you want to make a pretty thin line. You don't want to make it too wide, because then you're going to get rid of the lines from the nose contour, and then, you know, that's going to be that. Cool. So now that we have that, the next part is highlighting. Highlighting is essential. Listen, essential for nose contouring. This is what's going to either make or break the nose contour. I swear this makes such a huge difference. So follow along, okay? You want to take a small brush. Now you guys, I know you're going to ask me, where is this brush? And I get asked a lot. And to be honest, I have no idea. I have a feeling that it's either from Coastal Scents or BH Cosmetics. But listen, this is such an old brush that I have no idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into my highlighter. Again, whatever you have is fine. And I always like to start off at the tip, and you just want to place the highlighter. Now be careful where you place it. You don't want to place it like down here, because then it's going to look weird. You want to place it at the highest point of your nose. So for me, it's right here. And then I'm going to grab a little bit more, and I'm going to bring this down the bridge of the nose. And I'm just going to like blend it upwards. So I'm just going to go back and make sure that everything is nice and blended. I love how a good contour makes your nose look in pictures. Like my nose always looks so snatched. I'm like, who is she with a tiny nose? So now I'm going to take my little brush, the one that we use to apply the powder, and somebody's texting me, I'm sorry. And I'm just going to blend this underneath the eye. I'm just kind of like dragging it back and forth. I always like to go in with my beauty blender. And I just make sure that the lines are not looking too crazy. I feel like I'm pretty happy with my nose contour. I'm just kind of going back and like adding a little bit more highlight. I am obsessed with this highlighter. I just love how creamy it is. I'm actually going to add a little bit to my inner corners. Also, if you guys want to watch another really great contouring video, again, I would suggest the one by Brittany Bear. She has a YouTube channel and she goes kind of in depth as far as like nose contouring and all that stuff. And wow, she's just amazing. Like every time that I see her, I'm like, queen, queen, queen. And that is it. Now, nose contouring is one of those things, to be honest, again, it looks a lot better from afar. As you guys can see, like, who is she with the skinny nose? Skinny legend. This is my technique on how I contour my wide nose. And again, don't be offended. Don't take it up the butt. If you want to contour your nose, cool. If you don't. But don't be a negative Nancy, okay? Makeup is makeup. It comes off at the end of the day, and we just have fun with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something new. I hope all of my queens, all of my lash babies out there learn how to contour your nose, and if it helps your self-confidence, good for you. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Leave me any questions if you guys have anything that you're confused about. Let me know and I will answer it for you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye.